Penny.
Great stuff, Mark. Thanks very much. Of course, we're coming to you live from the Sandton Convention Center. As you've correctly mentioned, we are at the Buy Local Summit and Expo. And joining me for a conversation to just set the scene and really give us an insight of why the Summit and Expo, we're joined by Happy Makumalungiti. She's the Chief Officer, Marketing and Communications at Proudly South African. Happy, thanks very much for joining us this morning right here on Sunrise. It's 7 years down the line for the Summit and Expo. Just when you look back, what does the 2018 Expo and Summit have to offer?
Immense growth, which is fantastic. So when we look back to the past 6 years, there's clear growth and there's key learnings throughout the years that we've had to learn from and implement from. And so when you look at the surroundings in this hall, it's great to see that the Buy Local Summit and Expo has grown in leaps and bounds. For the first time last year, we started adding onto it a second day to the summit, which happened yesterday, and yesterday really was about focusing on small businesses and medium-sized businesses, putting them in one room and bringing solutions to them. And we're pleased to say that most of them walked away with a wealth of knowledge and a wealth of knowing what to do. There's many challenges in businesses, an array of challenges where a business will say, I have no idea what SARS want from me. I don't know. I have no idea how to capture my tax clearance certificate, and nobody can operate a business without a tax clearance certificate. And SARS was there yesterday, for example, to give you solutions, to show you what to do. There were other stakeholders in the room that were talking about financial and non-financial programs that they have in place. There were talks about protecting your idea. People have great ideas and they go around telling everybody about it, but you don't know how to protect it. Things like that. So yes. So
obviously in terms of the offering for small to medium enterprises, they have products to offer, they have services to offer, which they need to protect, as you correctly said, and they get to showcase some of that here. But most importantly, you have to be a member of Proudly South African. In terms of like businesses in South Africa being interested to be part of Proudly South African, has that mindset changed to understand the importance of them associating with? It's no longer just a campaign; it's a full-on movement.
Absolutely, yeah. It is a movement, and I'm glad that you're using that term. It is a movement, and I think South Africans are warming up to the idea. It's a tested method worldwide, so we know different. We have a responsibility as a country to have a buy local movement, because we have to start at home to support our own products and services to ensure that our economy is in good standing. So the idea and the ethos and narrative is well received, and I think it takes efforts such as this to remind South Africans constantly about the importance of buying local. Ours is a very difficult job. It's a mindset issue, but we see a shift, a change, and if you look around the hall and you see some of the retailers that are here, there's a big shift where a bigger percentage of the items and products that they manufacture are manufactured locally. So it looks good. It's still a challenge. There's still a lot of work to do. We know where we need to be as a campaign, but with a
What would you say are some of those challenges that the campaign has to overcome in the past 7 years, and how are you working to change that?
The perception has always been, for example, we're a member-based campaign, and the perception has always been our fees are too exorbitant, and that's not necessarily the truth. Well, we're tasked with the responsibility to reposition the campaign, if you so to speak. The campaign has to resonate with every South African in the country. We are all custodians of the Proudly South African phenomenon, and so we've changed the fee structure. For example, for a small business to join the campaign, you would have to pay 500 rand per annum, and the biggest cost for a big corporate company would be 100,000 rand and nothing more. And there's and in terms of a value proposition, there's a lot of things that you then benefit from by joining the movement. One of which is this: you know, none of the companies that are showcasing their products and brands here today have had to pay to be here. You know, we actively go out there and identify opportunities for you, even outside of our own comfort zone. You know, we identify big opportunities out there and take you there as a member company.
Just take us through some of the exhibitors who are showcasing here today and what people can expect here today.
You know, so there's an array of small businesses and big businesses. For example, you know, we have a coffee maker by the name of Usihle, who started with us a long time ago, about 4 years ago. So, and today he enjoys shelf space at big retail stores like the Spar, which is a great, lovely story to tell. You have the likes of Edcon, who have an ED program, a design innovation, where they've actively gone out there and identified talent in the fashion industry and took them through a program for 12 months about the business of fashion. It's not all glitz and glamour. What happens behind the scenes to sustain and run your business? We have the likes of well-known, celebrated designer David Tlale, who's also a member company of ours. There's PlusFab, Omar, who runs PlusFab, who's also a member company. We have the likes of Nestle South Africa. People will argue and say Nestle is not, how are they proudly South African? We all know their brands. Some of us grew up with those brands in our households, the likes of Primora, Recoffee, KitKat. You know, those are proudly South African. But not only that, they've been in the country for 102 years this year. How many people have
big companies that are committed to the country, and of course, so from enterprise development to small to medium, you know, enterprise businesses, and then at the same time in big corporates as well. Well, thanks very much for chatting to us, Happy, and we will be taking our viewers throughout what the exhibitions have got to offer, and some of our guests on the show this morning. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Penny.
Well.